Yo, what's up, everyone? Chapter 1022 is out, and I just gave it a read through, so I'm really eager to share my thoughts with all of you right now. In one of my more recent videos, I literally did a prediction talking about what I expect for this chapter, and I expected one of the fights to show up. But luckily, Oda knew that many readers would have no entire idea what exactly was going on, and he just gave us a full entire sort of synopsis on all the scenarios happening right now in Wano, which is something I really appreciated. Now that Oda has set up all of these plot points that I think could lead to many different outcomes coming into the next few chapters, I am pretty excited to see where Ogi goes from here, especially with two scenarios that he brings up. But if you all could do the YouTube spiel before I delve into the chapter and like, comment, and subscribe, it'd be super appreciated, and you get to see more One Piece content on your YouTube, so no negatives there. Chapter 1022 is called The Stars Take the Stage, which is a direct allusion to something that's said at the end of the chapter, so I'll get more into that when we reach that. So I'm just going to go about chronologically detailing what Oda gives us in this chapter. We get another recap on what exactly is going on, showing that there are only 15 minutes left until Onigashima is over the Flower Capital, and showing that the forces of the Alliance have definitely been proving their worth against the Beast Pirates. So I'm not gonna lie, I was really worried when Raizo was the first person shown in this chapter, but his moment was actually pretty cool. It was a really great moment about the loyalty that all the Scabbards have towards Odin, and honestly, it's just more death flags for them. He literally says things along the lines that they are all the ghosts fighting for Odin. It doesn't matter if it kills us, we won't be able to stop until Kaido and Orochi are defeated, and it really just gives me the sign that they're all gonna die, which is something I've assumed ever since we saw their grave markers at the start of this arc. Now, as soon as we cut out of Raizo's fight, I was very excited, because what I predicted to happen with Hawkins versus Killer actually seems to be happening. It's not known who the rest of the strawmen inside of Hawkins are at the moment, but I really like the idea that Kid is actually getting hurt by Killer while fighting Hawkins. I think it's absolutely sick, especially because I feel as though Hawkins has this sort of manipulative nature to him, similar to Apu, but not, in a traitor's kind of way. Hawkins has always been more smart and analytical, always looking at the cards for what to do. And I think picking Kid as someone that he can use to protect himself was a really genius move. Now, again, it's unknown if the other strawmen were the rest of Kid's crew or just random sort of people who were working for the Beast Pirates. That is completely unknown at this point, but I'm really eager to see where this fight continues, because I don't know how Killer is even going to attack Hawkins at all. And what I think this leads up to, which is something I assume will happen, is that Kid is going to lose to Big Mom. And if Hawkins is the reason that he loses to Big Mom, I can't even imagine the chaos that would happen in the fan base. So very excited to see where this plays out. Now, after this, we get to cut back to the quote-unquote stars of the stage that our chapter is named after. And we see this really menacing panel of King and Queen trying to get the information out from the Beast Pirates, asking, why did you betray us? What is going on? This panel gives me really heavy Impel Down flashbacks with the menacing sort of animal-like creatures and all the flames in the background, the people suffering. It just reminds me a lot of the sort of awakened Zoan users that were in Impel Down. So I'm curious if there's some sort of foreshadowing through the similar imagery that Oda is trying to convey, but nevertheless, looks really cool. Marco and Sanji are both really hurt at the moment, and they're trying to make sure that Zoro can be cured as fast as possible, but Sanji still gets up, tries to take down Queen, and King is actually searching specifically for Zoro to make sure that he can't heal back up. So I'm sorry to say this for all you that still believed that Zoro is going to kill Kaido. No, so we're going to change the anagram a bit, but luckily it stays the same letters, so Zoro might kill King, so ZKK still a thing, but we just switch out Kaido for King, you see? No problems here. We then cut to see that Parasparrow is actually about to take Sanji down with some of his candy arrows and really just tearing into this guy, saying, if you just married Pudding, everything would be fine. Die, you Germa reject. And we get this great panel of Nekomamushi just clawing Parasparrow down to the ground, saying, I'm here to avenge Pedro, and saying, let's take this outside, essentially. And it's super sick. So we're gonna see hopefully more Sulong Nekomamushi. Something I do want to bring up that I thought was kind of weird after rereading the chapter, Inuarashi was never shown through this whole chapter, so I was kind of surprised we didn't really see him or the other scabbards. Maybe that'll be in the next chapter, who knows. King eventually does find Chopper, who was trying to hail Zoro away and trying to, you know, make sure that he could stay safe, but luckily, Zoro is actually protected because Marco comes up and blocks King's attack. So we get to see some Yonko commanders fight it out. And Marco gives us some really interesting information. I used to hear rumors about a certain fire conjuring race that lived on top of the Red Line. King of the Wildfire, huh? So that was really cool. Like, I don't really know how to explain that. I just think finally getting some more info on King's race and possibly learning what this connection King's race has to what I assumed the world nobles, because it seems as though they were wiped out entirely. I assumed the world nobles had to do something with it, and then being on the Red Line just sort of cements that in for me. So my theory is that Mary Joie was, you know, created onto the Red Line, but obviously people had to live there originally. So seeing that King's race apparently lived on top of the Red Line really cements the idea that either they're completely wiped out because of the world nobles, or they were forced to leave, quote unquote, and they had to fight the world nobles. I don't know. I think this definitely adds a lot of concreteness to my idea. I guess the only real question after this is what exactly is King's race? Like, we know they can conjure fire now, but what does that mean entirely? Perhaps we already seen some sort of phoenix-like abilities from Marco. It would be kind of interesting if King was sort of a phoenix, but like a bird phoenix race, sort of like the fishmen, but like birdmen. That could be pretty cool. So while Marco blocked King and gave Zoro the chance to sort of stay safe, I assume that Marco, being the phoenix, you know, the phoenix fruit, literally used his flames to also heal Zoro while protecting him, and that allowed Zoro and Sanji to do this absolutely great hit on King and Queen to end the chapter. And I really just want to highlight the line that's at the end of the chapter because it was really, really sick. Hey, curly brows, if we win this, I know it'll finally be in sight. Luffy becoming king of the pirates. That was absolutely legendary. I feel as though Oda, every time he's been giving the Zoro and Sanji dynamic, every time it's been focused on in this arc specifically, it's been unreal. It's just been so cool to see, especially like literally every time that I can think of, with the Zoro Juro and Sangoro thing where they're trying to protect Odako, and now this. It's just, these moments have really been hitting this arc. And that's the chapter. I thought it was absolutely sick getting this Zoro Sanji moment, and just now I think I know that we're heading for the Zoro Sanji King Queen fights, and I'm excited to see where they go, definitely, because it's just, I feel like if they're hyping it up this much, it's gonna be insanity. Like, maybe if we see some absolutely crazy, like, what if it's a 2v2 and not two 1v1s? That would be crazy. That would be really, really crazy, having to see them team up like fully because they're so determined to make Luffy the Pirate King. That would be absolutely sick. But I'm unsure if they are gonna do it just a bunch of chapters of Zoro Sanji, because there's a bunch of other stuff going on, and I feel as though after we have that peak, it's going to be kind of a lull until we get back to Luffy versus Kaido. You know, I'm unsure how exactly Oda's going to work it out. And when I say a lull, I don't mean it's not going to be as interesting, because I think it'll be as interesting, but I don't think people are looking forward to Raizo's fight over Zoro's fight. You know what I mean? Just the expectations of the reader. So yeah, I'm eager to know what you all think of this chapter as well. What fights are you looking forward to the most? I'd say outside of Zoro Sanji, because I think the one I'm looking forward to the most outside of those is probably Killer Hawkins, I'm not gonna lie. Like Kid Law and Big Mom, that's super hype, but the Killer Hawkins one has me interested because it directly affects that as well. And I don't know, I feel like either of them could just die at any moment, so I'm excited to see where that goes. But with that, hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to do the YouTube spiel, like, comment, subscribe, because any feedback is greatly appreciated and I would love to know your thoughts. And with that, hope you enjoyed the video and have a good one.